Hey everybody, welcome back and thanks for watching the Happy Pups Training YouTube channel. My name's Mariano. That there is Bella. She's a 6-year-old Labrador with some leash reactivity issues, and I want to go through the process of getting her to cultivate a nice heel that you're seeing here. Now let's start with day one. This is her in her crate. She just got to me. She was very anxious, very nervous, lots of drooling. She pulled like a train when I took her for her first walk, and she had a lot of good stuff for us to address straight away. During this first walk that you see here, I've got her on a black leash that's attached to a prong collar. That red, white, and blue rope lead, that's a slip lead. It's something that definitely comes in handy when you've got a dog that needs prong collar pressure but is very new to the prong, so you want to introduce them easily. Now in terms of training, I'm doing the bulk of it with the Educator, the Mini 300 there, that's a great collar. The prong collar is just to give me a little more directional influence over her. So this is a size medium Hermspringer prong collar, and when it comes to setting up the prong on the dog, I've got the prong collar highest on the neck, or to say it's closer to the head. E-collar goes underneath that. Regular flat buckle collar goes underneath that. Now when working the basics of a heel, having the prong nice and high gives you good leverage in order to maneuver the dog if you need to. The prong collar is secondary though, it's kind of used as my way of moving her around. The E-collar is what I influence her with, that's what I teach her to learn to pay attention to. Now the reason for this is because if she's paying attention to the E-collar and paying attention to the confines of the heel, she starts to understand that there are rules to the walk, and there are things that are beneficial for her to pay attention to, and there are things that are not beneficial for her to pay attention to. The idea behind this is that when she can let go of the concept of feeling like she needs to be the one to decide what to do and when, she lets go of the pressure that lies therein. Instead, all she needs to do is pay attention. That's something that tends to confuse a lot of owners, is how correcting a dog with a prong collar or an e-collar can teach them to let go of a fear. Consider it a form of meditation for dogs. Lots of dogs see something that makes them want to react in a certain way, and they react without a thought of whether or not they should. By teaching them to control their impulse and stay focused at the task at hand, you help them to understand that not every thought, not every initial reaction requires physical attention. Sometimes it's okay to see something and notice it, and just let it go and let it be exactly that. A fleeting thought worth little more than a moment's attention. So I've got her healing here in closer proximity to them. That's a tighter circle that I've got her working with. She's still doing a great job, so I'm going to up the ante just a little more before going out in public. So this here is my dog Mia. She's going to be healing with us, and when the dog is this close, this is when dogs get a little nervous. Just to be clear about one thing, Bella was doing very well, and I didn't feel the need to put a muzzle on her. I didn't end up needing to. If I did have any doubt though, I would muzzle her. It's always a great job to take every precaution necessary. It's not at all a slam, but I have met owners or trainers that tend to almost try to do it without the muzzle as if it's some sort of badge of honor. But let me be clear, I did muzzle her in the beginning. I absolutely use muzzles all the time. I believe in them hugely, and I brought it off of her only when I felt comfortable doing so. I didn't want to risk her or my dogs, and definitely muzzle your dog if you're even the slightest bit unsure. Moving on. This is us here out in public. She's doing a great job with her heel. She used to be a little more nervous about strangers. It's hard to pick up on camera there, but if she gives even the slightest head turn toward a stranger when we're healing, I'm giving her a low-level correction on the e-collar. I correct immediately when she draws attention away from me, because the second she starts to look at something, she's already beginning that old habit, that escalation process that would eventually lead to reactive behavior. So the earlier you correct, the more potent you can be, and the awesome thing is, the lower levels you can use and still be more effective with the dog. That's because dogs tend to escalate to the point where they can tune out these outside influences that would otherwise try to stop them. And what I mean is, if you've got a dog that you're correcting at 35 or 40 when they start lunging, if you correct the second they turn their head away from you, or the second they notice the dog that's down the street, even if it's a couple blocks away and they see it from long distance, and I correct right in that second, I can grab their attention like that little dog there. I can grab her attention at about 13 or 14 as opposed to 25 or 30. So thanks for watching, guys. Again, my name's Mariano. You are watching the Happy Pups Training YouTube channel. We'll see you next time.